The world is full of traps around every corner, ready to undermine male strength. Just look at the popular Netflix movies or shows that are being widely publicized, or the kinds of people that are being exalted today. Nothing escapes the influence of the elites seeking to control minds. Men are being conditioned to accept weakness through brainwashing. There is a well-known fable about a lion worth listening to. Once, there was a lion feared by all because of its ferocity. One day, the lion fell in love with a farmer's daughter. However, there was one obstacle. The farmer nurtured hatred for the lion and would do anything to prevent the relationship. Then the cunning farmer proposed a condition to the lion. He would only allow marriage if the lion would remove his sharp claws to ensure his daughter's safety. The lion, seeing this as a small sacrifice for a great reward, agreed and removed his claws. The next day, the lion presented himself to the farmer, now unarmed, asking for his daughter's hand in marriage. However, the farmer, taking advantage of the situation, demanded that the lion also remove his sharp teeth. The lion, again agreeing, broke his prey. But when he returned to the farmer the next day, he attacked and killed him. This time, unarmed, the lion could not defend himself. By giving up his claws and fangs, the lion lost the only defense he had. Remember, fellows, the world we live in today is no different. There are powerful forces at play that have meticulously designed the matrix to keep us captive to our desires and impulses. And here's the harsh reality. You can point your finger at the farmer or the elites all you want, but ultimately it was the lion himself who chose to obey them voluntarily. Strength is the virtue that all men must seek, whether in the professional, financial, or romantic sphere. It is natural for every man to desire to feel dominant, strong, and powerful, for this is part of his essence. Everyone yearns for a strong inner impulse. Many of us lack this because we indulge in behaviors that prevent us from becoming the strong men we were meant to be. Nowadays, men complain about everything, spend exorbitant amounts on drugs and adult content, and even apologize for things that do not require excuses, habits that weaken them. The first is to mock others. This is an aspect that few argue about, but as men of worth, we should never look down on others. You may have heard the crab bucket metaphor. When a crab is about to escape the bucket, the others pull it back. If you find yourself mocking others, remember this. You are below them, period. That doesn't mean you shouldn't correct someone for their mistakes, but don't make fun of it. As a man, it is our duty to teach and guide our brothers without resentment or ulterior motives. Strong and confident men do not diminish others. Instead, hear what Mike Tyson has to say about it. Social media has made you comfortable disrespecting people without getting punched in the face. The second is the failure to take responsibility. Resuming the story of the lion and the farmer's daughter, the main reason why the lion loses everything in the end is that he did not recognize his responsibility. His task was to live like a lion. His fangs and sharp claws were an essential part of his identity, but he neglected this responsibility and chose to abandon it. The same applies to our lives. Assume your responsibilities with pride. I want them to say to me, I will honor my responsibilities with pride, for it is they who define me as a man. The day they choose to shirk their responsibilities is the day they decide to completely abandon masculinity. I want you to remember this quote. The price of greatness is responsibility. Listen again. The price of greatness is responsibility. The third point is to avoid failure, something challenging for many men today. Many choose comfort over growth. It is essential to remember that growth often arises from overcoming failures. One can compare the journey with the search for diamonds. The miner does not know how deep the diamond is, but continues digging even if initially it only finds dirt. With perseverance, you eventually get what you want. Similarly, in entrepreneurship or relationships, we face initial obstacles that, if overcome without giving up, lead us to success. This is a small price that strong men pay for success. Since childhood, we are taught to feel ashamed of our mistakes and to blame others. However, blaming others for failure is a sign of weakness. The fourth point is submission to useless laws. The difference between a coward and a man of value is evident. The coward follows the majority, even if he is wrong. On the other hand, a man of value analyzes and judges before acting. Nowadays, we are conditioned to avoid judgments, becoming puppets obedient to questionable laws and agendas. It is valid to obey, but only when aligned with our purpose and values. Moreover, nothing should override the divine law. Ask yourself if you act to please everyone, for learning to say no, based on the truth, is essential to avoiding a life of submission. Fifth, it is worth noting the importance of your body language. It encompasses nonverbal signs such as shaking hands, eye contact, posture when sitting, walking, and moving during interactions with others. Through it, people can perceive whether you are a person of strong or weak presence. However, current agendas also aim to weaken solid male body language. Therefore, it is essential to be aware of how you use your body and maintain a firm and confident posture. Remember that your body language is the first and most effective way to avoid being exploited by others. Sixth, we address waste. We emphasize the importance of your younger years. His early 20s and even 30s, to some extent, are considered the golden days. These are the days when you must build, and build. Just like a farmer who plants a seed, you should not expect it to bear fruit immediately. During this phase, it is crucial to sow spiritual, emotional, and physical aspects that will contribute to your growth. However, it is essential to understand that the results of these efforts may not be immediate. Continue planting, because in the future you will reap the fruits of this work. By challenging yourself, you will be cultivating forests and gardens that will attract the right kind of life. This implies not settling. It doesn't mean you need to dedicate yourself fully, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it's important to recognize that this phase is the time when you have more energy and opportunities to take on big challenges. Especially when you're young, you may feel the temptation to engage in casual relationships instead of investing in yourself, but it's crucial to resist this pressure. Although you may not fully understand it now, as you mature, you will appreciate the decision to focus on your personal growth. Listen to the words of wise King Solomon about youth. You who are young, be happy while you are young, and let your heart rejoice in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart and what your eyes see. But know that through all these things, God will always be with you. Don't be careless or ineffective with your time. What is your sleeping and waking routine? How do you structure your day? What do you do when you get back from work? These are issues that deserve your serious attention. Don't think of them as secondary tasks to do when you have free time. As a man who seeks success in all areas, it is essential to meticulously plan the day. Reflect on why the powerful are so skilled at building their strategies. Every aspect and area has been thoroughly planned. Similarly, consider every moment of your day, who you interact with, the content you consume. If you do not keep proper thoughts, you are allowing negative influences to affect you. Laziness is the biggest obstacle for men today. You may have many ideas about business or life, but if you do not act, laziness will sneak in, undermining your progress in a subtle way. Always remember, brethren, that laziness affects only the weak, for a valiant man soon identifies and confronts it. Be alert and fight it whenever possible. So remember, brothers, that modern society values weakness, but its strength is its greatest virtue. Look for opportunities to strengthen yourself and remember that God is your greatest source of power. And don't forget to support us. Sign up and like the algorithm to recognize and recommend the video to more people. Stay tuned to watch the suggested videos. Until next,